In this video, Mom books the ice rink the wrong day and expects us to share. Karen once followed me at airport because I was a lost child. And no one is above the rules, and I mean no one. Call me if he pulls rank. Mom books the ice rink the wrong day and expects us to share. Background: I'm an adult figure skater and I practice in a big group of other adults. They're skaters going from beginners up to former elite skaters. During Corona, the public rink we usually skate in has been closed and occasionally we've rented a private rink for an hour to skate. It's a lot more expensive than our ordinary practice, but you do what you must. Also, it's incredibly hard to get these time slots since the demand is high. Skating is a corona-safe sport. No worries. We're 8 people on the whole ice and change outside. It's all correct by our laws. A few months ago, we had rented the ice and arrived at our time. Since we're responsible and changed outside, we couldn't see what was happening inside. Once I and one of the other skaters were ready to go on the ice, we headed inside, and by the rink side, we find about 10 parents and something like 15 children aged 3 to 6. One of the moms, entitled mom, EM, approached me with a worried expression. EM: are you the ones that rented the ice? Me: yes. EM: you see, we're just informed that we booked the wrong day. Apparently, we booked next week this time, but we're here today. Me: I'm so sorry to hear. What a bummer. EM looks at me and the other skater. Is it just the two of you? At this time, the others are still tying their skates outside and only the 2 of us had come inside yet. Me: no, we're a whole group. EM: can't we split the ice half and half? Me: no, we're not here to joy skate, we're practicing seriously. For several reasons. The first and foremost, it's incredibly dangerous. If I run into your child, I'll hurt it badly and I risk hurting myself too. But I mean, it's your kid. Do you want its face sliced up? I would never ever let my non-existing own kids on the ice during a serious practice. Secondly, we rent the rink to be able to practice freely. Half the rink makes it impossible to practice your program. Third, children usually drag a lot of mud onto the ice, either on their coveralls or the parents on their shoes when they walk on the ice to help them when they fall. Dirt and mud is a big no-no for skates. It'll wear them down quickly and we'll have to pay for resharpening. Okay, here I felt kinda sorry for them. We all screw up sometimes and it sucks. Can't be fun to reschedule an event like this, and I get that. It's what happens next that makes this story entitled. The mom goes to the other parents and I hear her saying silently like, I guess you could come next week if that fits you. Then she goes to the children, points at us and says loudly, these people don't want you to skate. They want it all for themselves. With a super accusing tone like we personally were responsible for her mistake. I ignore her and step onto the ice together with the other skater. This commotion already cost us a few minutes of our short time. I see one more form on our group enter the rink and EM speaks to her too. I can't hear it though. This woman later confirms to me that EM tried the same trick on her, guilting her into letting them share the ice, and then asked if the children, now all out of their skates, could at least walk out on the ice to touch it. Since they're all wearing shoes and mud rule still applies, my friend declines. Also, when the ice is newly resurfaced, it's crazy slippery and very hard to walk on. Big risk of falling and hurting oneself. The rest of our group arrives and we start warming up. Half a minute later, EM opens the gate and lets 2 of the children run straight onto the ice. I wave at her to get them back off the ice and she waits purposely before she tells them to come back. Only they don't listen. She lets them slide around how much they want. Eventually, she has to walk out on her muddy shoes to pick them up and go back. Not a sorry, no nothing. Not the worst entitlement, but it still boils my blood, especially how she tries to blame us in front of the kids. Kids are usually very fond of looking at us skating since it looks cool, and when we skate publicly, we often show off whatever they want to see or teach them something. I hate to be accused of being the bad guy. Karen once followed me at airport because I was a lost child. This probably needs context before I start. Both my parents are divorced and live in 2 separate states. I live with my mom and grandparents in Nashville, Tennessee, while over school breaks I visit my dad in Rochester, New York. I've flown alone since I was 5, and when I turned 13, my parents said it was okay if I travel without an escort on my layovers as long as I text them when I'm boarding and when I land. Fair enough. This happened when I was 16. Now, I don't look at my age and never have. There's a bad combination in my family, short genes and a baby face. I was lucky enough to inherit both. To give you a rough image, I'm a 5-foot tall girl who weighs about 125 pounds with a baby face. Easy for people to mistake me as younger than I am. Well, flying was always the worst offense because I was alone. I also have bad anxiety and stutter a lot when I'm nervous, so it only adds to the age confusion more. I was coming back from New York and had a 2-hour layover in Baltimore. I decided to get some food at Chipotle. While I was eating at the food court, minding my own business and scrolling through my phone, this middle-aged, white, blonde woman with her 2 kids walked up to me. We'll just call her Karen. K. Hi, honey. Are you okay? Me. Yes. Why ask? K. Well, you seem young and you're by yourself. Oh, great. Here we go again. This wasn't the first time this happened, so I calmly told her that I was fine and thanks for the concern. Well, apparently, Karen didn't like my answer. Her tone soon changed from a caring, concerned citizen to a demanding bitch. She told me I wasn't fine because I was a minor by myself and needed adult supervision to fly. She was correct about the minor part, but the supervision part was BS. I was flying Southwest, who allows anyone 12 and older to travel by themselves, but someone is still supervising you on the flight until you're 15. I did not need adult supervision to be in the airport past security alone, and I told her this. I politely asked her to leave me alone, and I understand the confusion. Karen wasn't having it. K. You're lying. Me. How? K. I have kids, and I know the airport policies about minors. Me. Clearly, you don't. I've already said I'm fine. Can you please leave me alone? K. No. Where are your parents? Me. Doesn't matter. K. Yes, it does. I need to complain to them. At this point, I was getting annoyed. I didn't want to tell her about the fact my parents were divorced back then. I saw it as the only way for her to fully understand the situation and leave me alone. Me. Ma'am, I'm 16 years old. My mom is in Nashville waiting for me and my dad is in New York. Neither of them are in this airport and they both know I'm by myself and are okay with it. I'm allowed to have a layover by myself and I'm not considered an unaccompanied minor when I'm 16 years old according to the airline. Now please, leave me alone. K. No, you're lying. Me. How am I lying? K. I know you're lying because I have children. I know how rebellious they are and you are definitely not 16. I was getting mad at this point. For one, what right do you have to tell me how old I am? And secondly, your children look 7 and 5 years old, a little too young to be going through a teenage rebellion. I stood up, put my food in my bag, and told her, me, I think I know how old I am. K, where's your proof? I took out my driver's license, but looking back, I probably shouldn't have done that, but I was desperate for her to go away. With not only my birthday, but the fact that I had one in the first place signified I was 16 or older. I didn't want to show this lady my other information, so I let her see the birthday and nothing more. Karen wasn't going to swallow her pride and walk away. K. That still doesn't excuse you from walking around the airport by yourself. How do I know you aren't running away from home? I wanted to tell her that even if I was, it was none of her business. I repeated Southwest policy to her and told her that if she still didn't believe me, she could go on their website and check for herself or ask an employee. I then repeated for her to leave me alone or I'd get security. My bluff didn't seem to affect her. She said I wasn't going anywhere and I had to come with her and find my parents. I simply told her no and began reaching for my backpack. The Karen grabbed my wrist and started pulling me. I yanked my wrist away, grabbed my backpack, and started running. At that point, people were watching and her kids seemed distressed, but I didn't care. I made a run for my gate. Now, I'm not very athletic, but I'm definitely faster than this overweight single mom. I eventually made it to my gate and took a seat at one of the chairs. Still feeling uneasy, I told the lady at the gate what happened and that I was still shaken up. She understood and said if she saw a woman matching the description near the gate, she'd make sure she didn't come near me, and if she did, security would be alerted. Well, turns out my gut was right, and after about an hour, I saw her looking around the different gates. I told the lady and she nodded. She instructed me to get behind the desk as the Karen approached. Here's basically the conversation. K. Excuse me, That child behind you is not allowed to be in the airport by herself. She turned to me and asked me if I was an unaccompanied minor. I answered no. W. If she's not an unaccompanied minor, then she can be in the airport by herself. K. She's lying. She can't be 16. She showed me a fake ID. W. Oh, really? She turned to me and asked to see my boarding pass. I gladly handed it to her. She reviewed it and said it looked fine. She then asked to see what I showed the Karen. I handed her my driver's license and she also said this looked fine. Karen demanded the woman at the desk handed me over to her so she could take me to her gate and find my parents. This scared me. I knew I wasn't going anywhere with this woman, but it didn't stop me from being scared. W. Ma'am, is this girl your child? K. No. W. Then I'm afraid I cannot give her to you. I can assure you she's in good hands. K. No, she's not, because she's rebellious and lying. I'm clearly more qualified to take care of her considering I have children and you don't. That did it. At this point, I could feel a panic attack coming on. The nice woman must have noticed this. She told the Karen that either she goes to her gate and leaves me alone or security will be called. Karen huffed and puffed, saying the front desk lady didn't know her own airline policies and she'll be calling 911 for child endangerment, and Southwest was going to get shut down for this. The lady at the desk only nodded. After Karen was done with her rant, she walked away before security could come. Before she left, the lady asked her name so she could file a complaint for her, an obvious lie, and she told her, "We'll just keep her name as Karen." The lady at the desk offered to find her gate, informed them of what happened, and made sure she didn't leave her gate to make me feel safer. I agreed, and we found out her gate was in the international terminal. Knowing this woman wanted to take me to a completely different terminal, the international terminal, no less, made me even more scared. But I was assured everything was going to be alright. Her gate was informed about the situation, and they said that they would make sure she wouldn't leave the terminal once she arrived. It made me feel a lot better. I'm 19 now and still haven't grown taller. I'm in college now and still fly by myself. I'm still a little shaken up from the whole thing, but I still fly on my own, but I make sure to carry around my ID and passport, and if anyone asked if I needed help, I'd quickly answer no and walk away. That may make me look more suspicious, but I don't care. I'd rather come across rude than have to deal with another crazy Karen. No one is above the rules, and I mean no one. Call me if he pulls rank. I used to work for a marketing company that serviced small and medium-sized businesses across America. It was a multi-billion-dollar revenue company. The CEO was a true rags-to-riches story. He joined the company right after he got out of jail in his early 20s for a small drug charge and worked his way up over 20 years to eventually become the CEO of the company. The CEO strongly believed that the success of the company did not come from the brilliant and intelligent minds that he hired for his executive team, but the hard work, sweat, and tears of the in-field sales reps, service reps, collection reps, and sales managers. He would often say, without sales, we don't have the revenue to pay our salaries. Without customer service, customers will drop us faster than we can bill them. Without collection reps, we'd lose too many accounts due to non-payment. And without sales managers to hold it all together, we'd fall apart. And he had a rule. Every single executive team member would spend 1 full week of each quarter in the field with a sales manager, customer service rep, collection rep, or sales rep. In addition, when they are in the field, they are to submit to whoever they've been assigned to, and they may not pull rank. This rule applied to everyone, to include the CEO. I know this because the CEO personally rode along with me for 5 days in the field. He was a legit cool guy. I got a story at the end about this. So apparently we had hired a new VP of marketing from a major brand that I'm sure everyone would know of. Anyway, apparently the first time he went in the field, the VP of marketing pulled rank on a sales manager, and the sales manager reported this directly to the CEO. A new quarter went by, and I got an email stating that the VP of marketing will be joining me in the field on such and such week. Okay, cool. Not the first time I had some higher up come out and ride with me. But about an hour later, I got a call from the CEO. CEO, PJ, the VP of marketing is going in the field with you. Me, yes sir, I got the email. CEO, PJ, I picked you because I was in the field with you. You seem like the kind of guy that wouldn't be bullied or let someone run all over you. Me, okay, well thank you. CEO, This VP is new to the company, and the last time he went in the field, he pulled rank. I've told him not to pull rank again, and if he does, I want you to call me as soon as you can. Me. I understand. CEO. Thank you. The VP meets me up. Honestly, for the first 2 days, everything was fine. However, on the third day, I was meeting with an existing client. This client was a difficult to please customer. He would always say we weren't worth the money, but I knew we were because I could see his results, and over the years, this client's business had grown a lot. Said client would beat us up over pricing. I'd stand firm, give him a 3% price increase, and offer him upgrades on top. He'd haggle me down to a 1.5% price increase, and we'd sign the contract. Now I told the VP what would happen, that it would be a long sales call and a difficult high-tense one, but to let me handle it. I've dealt with the client quite a bit and was well prepared. Now, this meeting with the client lasted 2.5 hours, but I'll get to the point. The client wanted a discount and was threatening to go to our competitor. He wouldn't. That's when the VP spoke up and said, I'm the VP, and I'll personally give you a 15% discount on your current plan if you agree to sign a 1-year contract. The customer said 20%. The VP said, split the difference, 17.5%, and we have a deal. They agreed. I was mad as hell. One thing to mention, my commissions depended on me generating more revenue, and this VP just fucked me over. We get in my car and I go, you pulled rank, you shouldn't have done that. He said, I got the deal done. I said, had you kept your mouth shut, I'd have gotten more money, not given 20% back. He goes, we got the contract signed. I said, we gave away tens of thousands of dollars that we didn't need to. He goes, look, I'm the VP. I then called my CEO. He saw the name pop up on my car's Bluetooth. CEO answered. CEO. PJ, how you doing? Me. The VP pulled rank on me and gave my customer a 17.5 discount on his current plan right as I was about to close him for more money. CEO. That's not right. Where's the VP? Me. You're on speaker. He can hear you. CEO. Excellent. Hey, VP. VP. Yes, sir. CEO, tell me what happened. VP, told his side of the story, which he admitted the truth, but also admitted to pulling rank and giving the customer a discount. CEO, okay, thanks for your honesty. You're fired. VP, excuse me? CEO, you're fired. You have a 1-year probation clause. You're done. You don't pull rank when in the field. VP, you can't do this. CEO, I just did. You are to get on a plane, come back to your office, and clean it out. PJ, take Mr. VP back to his hotel and drop him off. Me, sure, no problem. And for the next 20 minutes, I had an awkward car ride back to my former VP's hotel. Later, in an all-hands-on meeting, the CEO made sure to talk about how if an executive is in the field and pulls rank, it's a fire